some years ago, I stopped working in a monastery as a groundsman because of doubts about harming living beings involved in cutting grass, etc. Now I might be involved in establishing a new monastery in Poland, wondering how to wisely balance avoiding harming insects, etc., and contributing to spreading more wisdom and compassion in this world. Yeah, I feel that the first precept quite often requires wise choice of greater good. Any advice? Thank you for that. Yeah, I had an issue when I was a novice in the monastery where I was living. I was asked to pull out weeds and do gardening. And I had this thing of, I can't do that. I can't pull out weeds. It's too painful. And actually the nun who was kind of supervising was very compassionate. And she said, okay, have a day off. So I had a day off and felt a bit badly about that somehow. And then I was in the next day, same job. And she said, just go with the really little weeds and work with those. And I did. And short story, in the end, I was actually doing the weeding. I think you're right. I think we have to kind of balance wisdom and compassion. We have to carefully kind of chart our course. And there is, unfortunately, having a human body, isn't it? Having a human life, we are going to be involved one way or another in the killing of living things. And, you know, in order to eat, in order to survive. The Buddha said in one sutta, Anguttara 1, he said, we eat or we're eaten. This is samsara. It's kind of tragic that in order to survive, we have to kill. But there it is. And yeah, cutting the grass to keep the monastery grounds in a state of order, maybe to reduce actually harm in some ways. One could argue from things like, I don't know, if you had ticks in long grass that could cause disease in people. You know, monks are not able to pull up any kind of weeds or do any digging of the earth or cutting grass. And it's a great, again, privilege to be able to avoid those things, just not to have to go there, I think is really of great benefit. But if you have a house and a garden, you have land you have to look after, I think we have to weigh up very carefully how it feels, what feels appropriate, and always questioning, do I really need to do this? Can I avoid doing this or not? And not to feel too badly about doing gardening, because it's not evil to do gardening. It's not evil to grow vegetables and eat them, but just to be aware of everything we do and how it feels, and actually to be guided by the Buddha's teachings. And maybe most importantly, just focusing especially on the obviously harmful activities, ways of thinking and speaking, and being very, very careful not to go in those directions.